Hey y'all, it's Brandon with Voodoo Forge. Now I'm going to show you how to forge a stylized leaf. And the project I'm working on is I'm using 3/8 rebar, so that's what I'm forging it out of. Now, I'm going to show you how to do it both completely by hand with hand hammers, and then I'm going to show you how to do what I call my ugly leaf with a power hammer. And then I'll show you what I use these in. But this is just stylized leaves. This isn't any particular type of leaf, so don't get caught up on, oh, that's a this or that. It's just a stylized leaf, and it's a neat accent to a lot of things. But also, when I was recording this video, we had a little goof up on the rebar, so you get to see that too. But anyway, let's hammer these things out. Here are the steps or the heats in our leaf forging. Now I'm using 3/8 rebar. That's not something you have to use, but you can use any kind of stock that suits you. But first thing is bringing it to a point, and it's just a square point. You know, we accomplish this by hitting two sides. Next, we're going to isolate the material on the end and neck down this part right here. We do this by doing half blows on the anvil, where we take the material and actually put it on the edge of the anvil and then strike with the hammer half on, half off the anvil, and that'll help isolate this material and neck this down. But then you've still got these sharp corners from where you did that. So our next step, next heat, is going to be rounding out those corners and getting that slender, round, more organic neck in there. And then the next step will be flattening out this mass material into the leaf body. At this stage is where, if you want to put veins in it, you want to take a chisel and put lines in it, that's what you do at this stage right here. And then finally, we sink it. You see how it's got all these nice curves in it. What we do is heat it up, and I use the end grain on wood and a ball peen hammer and get it hot and hit it with the ball peen, and it sinks it into that wood, and you get that nice organic curves to it. And then this is just what the power hammer leaves end up looking like. They are beyond stylized. They're just a distant accent. I will show you some projects that have those on them, so you'll see where they can be. I mean, it doesn't look like much right now, but when you add it to some things, it does look pretty good. So I'll show you some examples of that. First thing, we're going to bring this to a point. Do it by hitting two sides. I'm hitting them equal amount of times. Okay, that's got us a nice point there. Gonna try to up a little bit and throw it back in for another heat. Now on this heat coming up, you need a nice sharp edge on the anvil, so I'm going to be using this spot right here. And go ahead and have that planned out before you grab your steel out of the forge. Okay, half blows, half on, half off. See where we're at right there. I'm turning it 90 degrees. Just go working it back and forth. Working at 90. See, that's got it necked down real well. Okay, Okay, just going to dress these corners. And to do that, you hit the corners until there aren't any more. That has rounded this area right here up nice and round. Now this is the fun part. This is where it starts turning into a leaf. We've got our big hump here. It's going to go straight down now. Now, you can see I'm starting to move the hammer, rock it back and forth. That's going to help us get our leaf shape. I'm going to throw this back in the forge, but I want to show you. I'm hitting it both this way, from this angle, and this way, and I'm starting to get my leaf shape. You can see there we've got a kind of stylized ivy leaf type deal, and that is perfect. That's what we're looking for. Now while this is well, not cold, it doesn't have to be hot, I'm going to vein it, which essentially I'm just putting some marks going out. You can get as fancy with this as you want. You can have veins running both horizontally, and of course you can put a vertical vein in. Lots of people will take the peen and texture them. It just depends on what you want and what you're looking for with your leaf. But now that I've got the little veining that I'm doing, I need to get a ball peen and a stump to sink it in. Now it's time to sink it. This is the rock and roll part. Go to some end-grain wood with a ball peen hammer. You can tell I've used this spot several times. Essentially, you're just doming this thing, making it cup, giving it some natural curves, I guess. We'll dress it a little more on the end. Okay, now I'm just going to bend the tip over a little bit, and a little angle under here and there. And we end up with a halfway decent looking leaf. Now when I absolutely have to make a bunch of these, now it draws it out to a sharper point. So I end up with a way uglier leaf. Bad, but it's good at the same time. Something's happening to our steel here that I want to show you over here. Okay, if you look right here at the where we were tapering this down, you see the kind of crack and layering off from the steel here. There's another little flap over here, and that was caused by two things. First of all, this is rebar, so This rebar is from Turkey. It's not, I mean, it's just made out of scrap. It's not as reliable as hot rolled, cold rolled steel for this type of work. So that will happen sometimes. You get it to where it just, the steel starts coming apart. Part of it was also I was hitting it too cold. It had cooled off more than it should, and I was still hammering away. So this is not a good thing to happen in a project, but it's okay that it happened because I can show it to you. But I'm going to go ahead and finish out this this leaf, and we'll on the power hammer, and we will take it from there. This is an example of some of the leaves made under the power hammer, kind of stylized. This is one of the gates on one of our chicken runs. It doesn't have chickens in it. We let them grow up and then put chickens in, and the chickens eat it down. Here's some more of the power hammer made leaves on the gate. Okay, well, we got them both hammered out, and hopefully you understand the concept behind that. And there's many other things that can be made that way. You know, you can put little arrowheads and spear points at the top of gates or grills, or I mean, it's anyway, a lot of different things that can be used to make anything other than a leaf. You know, hopefully you understand that the ugly leaves are for ugly projects, are for projects that don't necessarily require, well, like the chicken gates that I showed you. I mean, that is literally a gate to keep chickens in a coop. It's neat from a distance. It doesn't have to be perfect. And so all of your forging doesn't have to be perfect. Some of it is for distance look. Some of it's stylized. Some of it is from the artistic eye, or the eye of the beholder. So keep that in mind. Now, like we saw, rebar is not always the ideal material to use for these things, but also going back to a eye of the beholder or artistic side of things, that's where rebar comes in. And I use rebar on projects like that. I don't recommend using rebar, and you catch a ridiculous amount of flack online from professional blacksmiths for using rebar sometimes for projects like this. But if it's not something that requires high carbon steel, you can get by with using rebar. It's okay. Don't let other people force you into this. But anyway, I hope y'all got something out of this. And if you liked the video, hit the like button. If you'd like to see more videos like this, please subscribe to the channel, and y'all behave yourselves.